Whiskey Advent Day 8 on Sunday, December 8th, 2019 with the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar 6th edition. What's it going to be? Let's check it out together on the Whiskey Whistle. Hello and Christmas greetings, my whiskey friends. Mark here at WhiskyWhistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you Day 8 for Sunday, December 8th, 2019 with the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar 6th edition. Let's get it out of there and we'll check it out together. Day 8, where are you? Right down there in the corner. Let's get that opened. Take out our little pog. There it is. As I said, I'm keeping those for a good reason. You'll find out. Okay, let's get our whiskey out of there. Okay, here comes. Boom. What do we have there, folks? Ooh, I see it's Secret Spirits again. I'm really liking what they're putting in bottles. What do we have here? Oh, this is excellent. All right, Secret Spirits. From Secret Spirits, Benrinnes 10-year-old. Awesome. Single malt Scotch whiskey distilled in 2008. It's cask strength. The cask type, first fill Oloroso sherry. 56.1% ABV. The cask number is 303872. The region is Speyside. Let's get that into our glass. Ooh, I'm so excited. Have I had a Benrinnes? Yes, I think I've had one. I don't know if I have any reviews. I'd have to look. I did have some indie bottles way back when from a friend that loaned me some samples from the malt shop in Seoul, South Korea. Hello, Hungshik. Okay, let's get that poured. Little more. There we are. Good. Beautiful golden color. Now, had a discussion online with someone on Scotch Addict about bubbles. Look at the bubbles we have here, and they stay and they stay and they stay. This glass was certainly rinsed extremely carefully by me, inverted, and we still have bubbles there. That is because of the higher proof. The higher proof it is, the bigger the bubbles, the longer they last. Anyway, just so that you know, don't be alarmed, all right? Okay, we're going to check out the color first of all for this Benrinnes from Secret Spirits. What do you see there for color? It's a nice dark gold, isn't it? We don't have a really dark hue. This is 10-year-old. However, it is cask strength. So that should be relatively dark, but still not long enough for that really, really dark hue to emerge. So again, we have a nice old gold color, and that's all natural. It's unchill filtered. It's beautiful. Excellent. And I can already tell that the legs are going to be amazing on this. Let's check out the legs together. Okay, the legs for the Benrinnes 10-year-old. Very slow to start. They're only halfway down. Very drippy. Look at that. Nice thick legs. Very slow. That is going to have some serious mouthfeel. They still haven't gone down all the way. Let's check out the nose now, shall we? Oh, this is right up my alley. Now that's Speyside, but it's got some Highland-esque, kind of grassy, earthy notes as well. This is a real old school style of single malt Scotch whiskey. This is kind of like what I remember smelling from whiskey in my early 20s. There's been big changes. Everything has gotten a little bit sweeter. Companies seem to be afraid to explore the earthy tones and keep that smoke content up. Here we definitely have wood smoke. I'm not sure if Benrinnes uses any peat in their malting process. Or furthermore, whether or not they malt their own, they probably get it from somewhere else. Benrinnes, by the way, is Diageo, right? Yes, Diageo. Formerly owned by John Dewar and Sons. Oh, they used to triple distill. Very cool. Now, the only official bottling is in the Flora and Fauna series. I don't think I've had that one. So I think I did have Old Malt Cask or something from an independent bottler for Benrinnes. Now back to the nose. We have a little bit of something kind of like a real mineral-rich water. So where it's almost high, really high in iron, like what you'll get from well water. And there's something almost like a slight but friendly swimming pool note here. There's definitely some sulfur that's coming through on the nose. Now that's first fill Oloroso, which are essentially one of the most expensive casks available. And it should make that really sweet, but we do have this underlying interesting distillery character. It's dry, it's mineral rich, and it's truly old school. Now this is from 2008, so this was not from the period where they did triple distillation. Some more interesting information. So they're using worm tubs. It is dissipating though, but still a real old school style of sherried Speyside. When you're smelling this, make sure you're gentle with the amount you're taking in your nose. Keep your mouth open and then get closer as your nose gets used to it. Really, really interesting. And personally, I love it. Let's get on to the palate then. Cheers, everyone. It's got a sweet, tart front of the palate. But then we have a real meaty, beefy development in that palate. Really interesting that it's so different. Sweet and sour with some fresh and dried fruits. A little bit of malt vinegar. And then you get this real beefy, meaty note. The palate is predominantly this beefy, meaty note with a little bit of malt sweetness, like a beer that's not really hopped at all. A malt beer, a German beer with very little hops. Or Danish. Kind of like an amber malt. Absolutely. Interesting whiskey. So unique, rich, that sweet and sour note, the fruit, just the fruit's all over the place. Really ripe, soft persimmon. The pudding style, they're so squishy. They're like a tomato, and they're very squat. You have longer ones that are harder flesh, that can be crunchy to like a hard tomato, and then you have these squat, really squishy ones that are almost like a grape inside. So I'm getting a bit of this persimmon here. A bit of dryness mid-palate. A rich molasses note there. This is so interesting. Now let's add a bit of water. I really like where this is going. I'm going to add just one and a little bit more, not too much. Even though it's 56.1% ABV, it it doesn't really light your mouth on fire. Just take small sips, is all I can say. Right, so the nose with water then. Some of that malt vinegar is coming through on the nose now. It's very dry. It's still got that mineral slash swimming pool note. There is a sugar building up here though. And a little bit of this fresh seared beef coming through. Now, I know a friend of mine that would really, really like this. And I'm going to save him this sample. He's here in town. He's on Instagram. His handle is Shady Scotch 5050. Hi, Ian. That's for you. Oh, so interesting. Beautiful choice, Jonathan. I wonder how you picked this. I'd love to hear that in a comment from you, and just tell us what you're doing when you're going over to Scotland, you're checking out these casks. How do you choose which ones you want to put in this box? All right, onto the palate with water. Cheers. With water, more molasses, more stewed prunes. The beefy note has taken a hiatus here in the palate with water. It's still on the finish, however. And it still has that lovely sweet sour entry. Building into brown sugar, molasses, prunes, think dark fruits. And then the finish is predominantly this beefy note that is just so predominant. A little bit of dryness, a little bit of peripheral fruits there. Imagine a beef roast where it's been stuffed with prunes, and it's been essentially blackened, but it's still a little bit on the rarer side. It's excellent, and a real great kickoff to week 2 of the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar 6th edition. Time to get onto the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey score for Benrinnes 10-year-old in the Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar from Secret Spirits, bottled by Secret Spirits. What is that going to be, folks? It's going to be 93 out of 100. You heard it, 93 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey score for Benrinnes 10-year-old. You know what that means. We'll talk about that next weekend. Beautiful. I really like that. And I would definitely buy a bottle of that, a case if I could, and if I had the money. Of course, that's the key, right? So interesting. Now, if you're a centrist and you like your typical sherry, you like your standard Mac 12, your Glendronach a little bit, not that much, you like Mac 12 more, this might not be your favorite. But if you're into variety of flavors and uniqueness, that's about as unique as it gets for 10 years old. And again, this really comes off more like, I want to say 13 to 14 years for me anyway. Beautiful. Well done. Loving it. Bring more of this. So excited. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hit that emblem right over here to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you're notified of the future Whiskey Whistles. That really helps the channel a lot. And if you've been enjoying my content until now, jump in and become a patron of the channel on Patreon, patreon.com/WhiskyWhistle. Join the Whiskey Whistle crew. All right? Take care, everyone. See you for December 9th. Goodbye now.